Hello everybody, and welcome back to Virtual Cheese Emporium. It is lovely to see you all again. Let me get this out of the way first. I am sorry. I need to apologize to you guys. I have not been faithful to you guys. I have not posted a new video in about 2 weeks and a few days because depression, college, and just all sorts of stuff. Oh, I have a play that I'm doing, and yeah, I've been a busy bean, and I've also been kind of sad. So it's been a little hard to get my creative juices flowing in order to make a good video, but you are here watching my newest one, and I am going to make up for it by making new stuff. And of course, since all good YouTube comebacks need a very special touch to them, I decided to go back down memory lane and give you one of my classics. As we all know, quarantine has been tough. Well, I'm actually not in quarantine anymore, but we're still in a pandemic. And what has everyone done in a pandemic that they just never had time to do before? Baking! So what are we doing today? Well, we're gonna be baking, you big silly! That's why we're in our kind of dark and scary, but actually really nice looking kitchen. I'm going to be baking a beautiful fall treat for you guys, and you all are going to love it. It's going to look great. It's going to taste great. You will not be able to taste it, but I will taste it for you, and I know that it will be great. Whoops, I forgot to actually tell you what we're going to bake today. We are going to be baking a cinnamon apple cake. Apples are like the patron saint and mascot of fall, and you know, apples, cake, what's not to love? So I'm going to be putting those together, baking a fall treat. Like I said, going to taste great, going to look great. You won't be able to taste it, but I will confirm it for you guys. And let us move on into our new kitchen setup in order to bake this beautiful apple treat.
Alright, you know what time it is. Time to give you some long-winded instructions about baking a cake. The first step that you must complete is greasing up your pan. First, spread it all around with either cooking grease or butter, as I am doing. And then, once you're done spreading all that yummy, buttery goodness around, please place parchment paper into your baking sheet or baking pan. Whatever, which one, just please put parchment paper inside. I now present to you our dry ingredients. As you can see on the screen, we're going to be using cake flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, and baking soda in order to make the base. Please measure them all out and then throw them into the bowl and mix them all up until they are very well incorporated. And next is the most important step in making the apple cake, is the apples, of course. Chop them all up and place them into your dry ingredients, mixing them all up until they are as white as snow. Ooh, one last thing. Put a few more apples than I did for this cake. It was surprisingly devoid of apples, and I was kind of upset about that. So please, change the number. Add more apples. It always makes cakes better when you have more fruit inside. After showing you all the wonders of dry ingredient covered apples that look a bit like, snow covered fruit, we have our wet ingredients. Toss in your oil, toss in Greek yogurt, and then eggs, and then something else on the screen that I can't see because I'm actively not looking at the screen while recording. Toss that all in and mix it together. Do not overmix or else your cake's gonna taste all gross. Oh, it was vanilla extract. I knew I was missing something. Well, toss that in there too. More vanilla makes cakes taste amazing. After my disembodied hand is finished whisking up my wet ingredients, it is time for the age-old step in baking to combine the powers of the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients to make one beautiful amalgamation of awesomeness. We are going to be, well, after a few seconds of me talking so that I can pad out runtime, because I don't know if I'm actually there yet. But if we are going to be pouring our wet ingredients into the dry ingredients and the apples, mixing them all up, and then repeating until it's a really nice gooey batter. And then make sure you taste it. It's always good to taste your food. But yeah, mix it all together so that you can actually make your cake batter. You know what was so odd about this cake recipe? It had no salt and nothing to make it taste like something. So I added a really nice quantity of lemon juice. I have no idea how much, I didn't measure. And I made sure to add some salt because cakes do not taste right. Actually, desserts don't taste right without salt. I didn't actually film me pouring the salt in, but please make sure to throw in a little bit of salt to balance out all of the ingredients and make your cake taste like something. Well, I missed talking to you guys about, actually putting your cake into the cake pan. Whoops, can't talk. But, as the screen says, we are not done yet. We are going to be making our cinnamon and sugar topping. So please, mix together cinnamon, sugar, and, when it is finished melting, some melted butter. Now, once you are finished mixing your cinnamon and sugar mixture together, you're going to pour in that melted butter. Mix it just a little bit more until it's all combined to make this really nice sprinkly consistency. Then you're going to sprinkle or pour it all on the top of your cake. That way it can set in and bake in nicely to squish in with the cake ingredients and make a really nice crust on top. Now our last step for baking is just to throw it in the oven at 350 for around 35 minutes and see what happens. Just what I need, a nice long break. And you know what I'm going to do on that break? Well, in the past, I read these two lovely books, which I might add have been best ranked or best books of 2021 on Barnes & Noble. That sentence didn't come out right, but they're the best and I love them. And I ate some Chipotle. It was great. And ladies, gentlemen, and beings in between, here is the cake. Thanks, Dad, for helping me flip it over. All in this beautiful cinnamon apple glory.
Thank you, Dad. Alright everyone, the cake is finished baking. All we have to do now is do the glaze, put it on top of the, hopefully cool, cake, and we will be done. This will only take around 2 to 3 steps, so we'll be ready in a jiff.
Thank you, Pastor B. That was very helpful. As you can see, we're making some glaze, everybody. We're going to combine sugar, milk, and, which was an unfortunate decision, lemon juice. Don't add lemon juice to your glaze. Well, it tasted good, but the glaze did not come out correctly. It looks gross, but it tasted really good. Did a bit of an oopsie on this step, but we'll get to it later. When your cake is cooled down, like when it's not producing heat or anything, that's when you can frost your cake. I did not wait until the cake was cooled off, and now we have a big melty mess on top of the cake. Oh well, it still tasted good, so I'm not going to complain about it. Abracadabra! Here's our lovely cake. As you can see, the glaze is gone because it is melted into the cake, but the cinnamon crust on top still looks lovely, as does the rest of the cake. Look how pretty it is. And And shout out to my mom for helping me cut my delicious masterpiece. Here she is, and here is the slice of cake. I didn't angle this correctly so it doesn't look as impressive as it should, but there's a slice, and there's the inside of the cake. Doesn't have any filling or anything, so it doesn't look very impressive, but trust me, it looks a lot better in person. Here's me doing a little taste test for you guys. Also an excuse to show off my awesome pink hair because you didn't really see it for most of the video. So here I am looking cute and eating cake. Alright everyone, that is it for my beautiful cinnamon apple cake slash masterpiece. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you so much for having me bake all over again for you guys.
Alright, the baking video has been completed, and I can confirm that my cinnamon apple cake was pretty good. I'm probably going to switch up the recipe because it didn't taste as bright and as sweet as I wanted it to be. Probably because the apples that I used weren't exactly like baking apples, like Granny Smith apples. But yeah, it just tasted kind of sweet. It was good, but it could have been better. So I'm either going to switch up the recipe or probably just leave this cake as like a happy distant memory. But either way, if you like this recipe, I suggest that you try it out. I will probably link it in the description if I can find it again. I most likely won't, but if I do, please try it out for yourself along with the additions that I added in the video. And I know it's been just a little while, but thank you for coming back to one of my more classic videos, and I hope you enjoyed me making this sweet treat using only one hand for the duration of the entire video, even though you should really use two hands when mixing and pouring and the like. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed my latest video, and thank you once again for coming back to Virtual Cheese Emporium. I sincerely hope to see you again very, very soon. I am off to edit this video, and I'm off to plan more content so you all can come back to the Emporium with fresh, hot videos ready for your consumption. Alright, be safe, drink water, eat cake that you actually like to eat, and please hug your family members. Alright, I love you guys. Bye!